E-Weekly, Eastern Michigan University's campus news. This week we have news on the fire in Putnam Hall, plans for Wellness Woof Wednesday, highlights from soccer and volleyball, a new episode of E-Walking, and this week's Eagle Encounters. It's homecoming week, and this is E-Weekly.
Well, hello, News Hounds. I'm David Pierce Anderson, and happy to announce you found your way back to E-Weekly. We couldn't be happier you've chosen us yet again for your campus news.
Absolutely. We have a full show today with news from all across campus. A new episode of E-Walking is queued up for you, and Anna Moga and Sarah Podaraki will be up later with sports. We also have the homecoming edition of Eagle Encounters. I'm Shannon Smith, and this is E-Weekly. You're up, David. What do you have for us?
The search is still on to apprehend the person or people involved with the racist graffiti spewed on King Hall and in Wise Hall on September 20th and 21st. EMU is now offering a $5,000 reward after an additional $2,500 in reward funds were provided by an anonymous university donor. This display of generosity by EMU donors demonstrates the urgency that is needed in the capturing of these criminals. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is now helping EMU's Department of Public Safety in following up on leads and conducting interviews during the continued search. EMU President James Smith has updated his original opinion on the graffiti from a racist and thoughtless act to such hateful and intentional acts. Eastern Michigan student body is scared of the realization that someone capable of such hateful and gut-wrenching ideas is still hidden among us in society. We all hope justice is served as quickly as possible.
As the old saying goes, busy people have a lot of irons in the fire. Campus residence building Putnam Hall was an unfortunate victim, one of its residents not taking that extra 2 seconds to exhibit some basic safety rules left a curling iron on their mattress in one of the dorms this week. And of course, a fire ensued, smoke filled up Putnam Hall, and alarms were not only tripped in Putnam, but also Phelps, Walton, Sellers, and the residence halls. Rescue authorities evacuated them as a precaution. No injuries were reported, and the students involved were checked for smoke inhalation before returning back to their dorms. Please take time to unplug your unattended irons, folks.
The Southeast Michigan Regional Transit Authorities revealed its plans for new regional transit services that will include a commuter rail between Ann Arbor and Detroit, with stops in Ypsilanti, Dearborn, and other key locations. The RTA hopes that on Election Day, voters will vote in favor of the 20-year tax proposal to help pay the $4.6 billion tab to connect Southeast Michigan via railway, including Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, and Washtenaw counties. A commuter railway will benefit not only employees but also students. Kids living on the east side of the state will be able to commute to and from school in a rather efficient manner. A train ride to school will help students avoid early morning commuter traffic, as well as give them extra time for homework on the trip. The train is likely to include a stop in Depot Town. Metro Detroit fails in comparison in how much money is invested in public transit, far behind Boston, Denver, Seattle, and Chicago, to name a few cities. Adding an Ypsilanti train stop is a brilliant idea, and helping to aid commuting students is a great motive to vote yes for the bill. Some might say a great locomotive.
College is stressful. Striking a balance between school, work, and professional time can be difficult, but the EMU Wellness Center has a furry fix. Every third Wednesday of the month from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Snow Health Center, stressed out students can spend time with therapy dogs in an informal environment. Wellness Woof Wednesday has grown each year since the Wellness Center teamed up with Therapaws of Michigan in 2014. Thanks to such positive feedback and increased attendance, they are looking into plans of expanding the program outside of Snow Health Center and into residence halls, the Rec IM, and the Student Center. They also want to increase the frequency of the event, giving students more time to spend with a canine companion. Participants say they leave feeling lighter, excited, and less stressed. Wellness Woof Wednesday is free, so if you need a dose of some puppy love, put a paw print on the third Wednesday of every month at the Snow Health Center.
Nothing like a really good scratch behind the ears to turn your day around. Speaking as a scratcher and a scratchy, I can attest. We'll have more news for you coming up, but next we have a brand new edition of E-Walking. This one hosted by fellow student Zach Badgerhouse. He explored campus to talk with people about the graffiti incidents. Check it out.
What a time to be alive. The iPhone 7 just came out. We have a woman running in office for a presidential race. Everything's been great. However, there's been an ongoing issue in this country, racial violence. We're here on campus to find out how students feel and to get their reaction to some of the ongoing issues and some of the incidents that have taken place in this country. We are in the Commons where Eastern Michigan students have a decent meal. I'm here with Josh. How you doing, Josh?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
All right, I'm doing all right. What year are you, Josh?
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore? All right, so are you aware of the racial graffiti that has taken place on campus last week? Are you aware of that?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, Josh, and what is your reaction to that?
Well, obviously, I'm horrified and disgusted that kind of sentiment even still exists. And I just want to personally express support and solidarity for our black students.
When something like this happens, it's like it puts all that hard work and puts everyone back to step one in a way, and it's frustrating.
I was kind of appalled. I mean, I wasn't really expecting anything like that to happen, especially here. It's not something that should be celebrated. It's extremely wrong, and I was kind of in disbelief when I first heard about it.
Yeah, it was actually weird how it happened. I was walking outside a Ford Hall, and it was awkward because we just got done watching Fruitvale Station, which addresses police brutality. And then right when I got out, I see a whole large group of people just protesting. And then later on that day, we had to start a lecture about justice in America. So that whole day was eventful and very saddening.
I think that it's important to figure out who did it, whether it be just some dumb kids or if it actually be somebody who has those type of feelings. I think it's important to figure out who it is, because I think it's important that, everybody feels safe on campus.
It's so easy to want to fight hate with hate, but that never works. You have to fight hate with love, and that's how everyone should be. We need more love, We need to love each other for who we are, not what we look like or
the color of your skin.
Yeah.
All right.
Martin Luther King said, judge people on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. I think that's a great quote that I use. I like.
In the reaction to that, there was a protest on campus, well, not on campus, but at the football game last week. What were your thoughts on that? People getting their voices and letting them be heard.
I think it's great. It's nice seeing people using their First Amendment right to let their voices be heard. It's a shame that something bad has to happen to bring people together, but it was nice seeing all the students coming out and letting their voices be heard, and it makes a difference on campus. It makes an impact.
Okay, so at North Dakota University, there's 3 white girls, and they locked the black girl in her dorm room, and they took her phone. And what are your thoughts on that type of incident? You're a black woman, and how would you feel in regards to something like that happening to you?
I'd be pissed off, if I can say that. I would just find it ridiculous, as I'm sitting there, locked up, wow, they just did this just because they have a different skin color than they do. They're just mad at the melanin. That's just all I gotta say. They're mad at the melanin. They're just mad. It's okay.
Again, it's frustrating to see these kinds of things playing out over and over again, but it's not something that we should let ourselves become desensitized to. Every incident is major, is significant, and it just punctuates the fact that we need to continue fighting for equality and for an end to discrimination.
Okay. Well, thanks, Josh.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Jesse. I appreciate your time.
I like.
All right. Thanks, Chili. I appreciate that, man. All right. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Now back to the news. David?
Yale history professor John Merriman hosted a lecture on modern terrorism last month in Halley Library. Merriman received his PhD and Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Michigan. In his lecture, Merriman spoke of notable early terrorist acts from his book, The Dynamite Club, How a Cafe Bombing Ignited the Age of Modern Terrorism. Modern terrorist Acts can be traced back to 1894 when anarchist Emile Henry detonated a bomb in Paris to avenge his father's death. Similar to modern acts of terrorism, Henry did not target anyone in particular. His goal was to injure random citizens. Terrorist acts preceding Henry's consisted of public officials being the focus of action, which is what made Henry's arbitrary act comparable to present day. The idea of modern terrorism dating back over 100 years is intriguing indeed, but let's end its lifespan at 122 years and give peace a chance.
Homecoming week is officially in full effect. If you haven't participated in the fun festivities, there's still time. Thursday night at 8 p.m., throw on your fancy dress and pull out the suit, gentlemen, because Eastern cordially invites you to the Green and White Ball in the McKinney Ballroom. But the real fun is on Friday at the Student Center with free food, free flowers, giveaways, and a chance to meet Shannon from Mojo in the Morning. Eastern's epic pep rally runs from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Everybody who's anybody will be there. The football team, the coach, dancers, cheerleaders, and all the true EMU fans will be present and making a lot of noise. Don't miss the tailgating on Saturday with your fellow Eagles before the Eagles take on the Toledo Rockets. This is the week to show your school's spirit and take advantage of all of the free food.
Still to come, Anna Moga and Sarah Poderacki will join us with the latest sports news with our spring edition of Eagle Sports Update. And then Shannon and I will be back to help you plan your weekend with Eagle Encounters. Don't go away.
Welcome to one of the fastest growing universities for freshmen in Michigan. A university where differences are celebrated. Where faculty believe their students' success is their success. Where our honors college has doubled in size, and where we are nationally recognized for educating and improving our community. Being here is about being part of something bigger. It's about being part of a family. It's about fitting in while standing out. Now's the time to challenge yourself. Be surrounded by people who truly care about your success. So whether you become an artist who inspires others, a creator who develops something new, or an innovator who changes the way people think, this is your opportunity. Fuel your curiosity through research. Hit the stage and enrich the lives of others. Compete in Division I athletics. No matter your path, we all bleed green. So roll up your sleeves. Dive in. Experience learning in and out of the classroom. Be a student of life. Welcome to higher education. Welcome to Eastern Michigan University. Welcome home.
In today's cyber world, the number of passwords you have to remember can be overwhelming. While it may be tempting to reuse the same passwords or store them in a not-so-safe place, in doing so, you're putting your online accounts and data in danger of being compromised. The Eagle security package includes LastPass, an encrypted online password vault that can store all your usernames, passwords, and other personal information in one location. LastPass secures your login credentials using one master password, the last password you'll have to remember. Not only does LastPass store your login credentials, but it can automatically fill them in when you're logging into trusted websites. LastPass can also aid in the creation of strong, unique passwords and secure sensitive data such as addresses, credit cards, and personal notes. Since LastPass is encrypted and protected in the cloud, it's accessible wherever you are, through the LastPass website, a web browser extension, or the mobile app. LastPass makes password security easy. For more information about LastPass, visit tiny.emich.edu/LastPass.
I got some jeans, I got some shoes, and I got a sweet new hoodie.
Jeans, shoes, a new hoodie,
some new headphones, and a couple of video games.
Video games and some headphones.
and I didn't pay for a thing.
And I paid for it all. Not to mention, I'm out a brand new laptop because he stole my computer and went on a shopping spree with my money. So now I have all of my usernames and all of my passwords saved in a password management system like KeePass. So if my laptop is stolen, my passwords aren't. My name is Caitlin, and I'm trying to be e-safe.
Good afternoon, Eagles. I'm Sarah Poderacki, and it's finally time to talk about sports. This is the Eagle Sports Update Sprint Edition, and we've got a lot to cover today, don't we, Anna?
We really do. We've got soccer, cross country, volleyball, and that other fall sport people keep buzzing about. I'm Anna Moga, and here's the latest in Eagle Sports news.
I'm not going to beat around the Eagles' nest, so here's our really big deal. Our Eagles football team continued their 2016 hot streak with a 28-25 win over Bowling Green last Saturday. This incredible victory marked EMU's first MAC opening road win since 2005. It also ranks the Eagles with the third best record in the state of Michigan in Division I football. The Bowling Green Falcons are coming off of a 74-point loss to Memphis and were looking to redeem themselves, but had no answer for the two Eagles quarterbacks. Junior Todd Porter played the first half and finished with 107 yards, while junior Brogan Roback finished the game for the Eagles and threw for 3 touchdowns. The Eagles also had a solid run game as freshman Breck Turner ran for a career high of 107 yards and 1 touchdown. Bowling Green hosted a valiant comeback effort in attempts to top the Eagles in the fourth quarter, but the Eagles continued to answer the Falcons' scoring drives and held on for a slim victory. The Eagles' homecoming game against University of Toledo will kick off on Saturday at 3 p.m. at the Factory.
The Eastern Michigan volleyball team had yet another devastating defeat on their home court this weekend when they were blown away by the Northern Illinois University Huskies. Even with the strong offensive attacks by senior Devin Murray and sophomore Jordan Smith, the struggle continued for the team at the net. The Eagles did manage several good plays during the first set, but the Huskies still edged them out at a higher hitting percentage. Set 2 continued in the same way, with the Huskies managing to out-hit the Eagles overall. The last set resulted in several more kills by the Eagles and a high attack percentage, but not enough to pull it through against the Northern Illinois offensive. The final score was Northern Illinois University 3 and Eastern Michigan University 0. The Eagles are away later this week to battle in-state rival Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant. Go for the kill, Eagles.
The men's cross-country team put together a solid race this past Friday, finishing 12th despite a fall in the first 300 meters. 3 runners ended up on the ground, causing them to lose their pacing, but fortunately no one was hurt. Despite the early setback, the men pushed onward. Senior Nick Raymond finished 15th, and junior Hleener Anderson finished 26th. The women's cross-country team followed up their great finish 2 weeks ago with an even better one this past Friday at Notre Dame. They brought home a third-place finish with a total of 159 points. The women had a decent start, continuing to move up throughout the race, and had a very strong finish in the last 1,000 meters. Junior Jordan McDermott finished 7th, and sophomore Natalie Sismus finished 12th. This is going to be an exciting season for Eastern Cross Country.
The women's soccer team took another tough blow to the beak last week. EMU Soccer Eagles sustained a shattering 3-2 loss against Miami University. The home game against the Red Hawks showed significant promise as the Eagles held their own by taking on Miami's defense and heading up a 2-1 lead. Eastern couldn't finish the game before Miami moved up to tie it back up. Driving the game into overtime, the Eagles managed to take 3 shots, keeping the pressure up against the Red Hawks before the tide turned and the final goal was made. With a heartbreaking 3-2 final score, the Eagles hope to make headway as they go back on the road once again. This Thursday, Eastern heads to Ohio, where the Eagles will square off against the Falcons of Bowling Green University.
That's it for Eagle Sports Update Sprint Edition. Coming up next, David Pierce Anderson and Shannon Smith will return with what to do on campus this weekend. Eagle Encounters is next. Stay tuned.
Are you an EMU student interested in getting a first-hand experience working at a radio station? Well, say no more. EMU offers a class through Eagle Radio that will thoroughly prepare you for a real-life experience. But first, you have to register for the class. pick a date and a time slot. Then the world is yours. Eagle Radio allows you to be fully independent and customize your own show. Have real conversations about the news, celebrity gossip, update listeners about the weather, play a trivia game. It's your show. You're free to name your show whatever you want and play any edited music of your choice. If you love having heated debates and you feel your words need to be heard, then Eagle Radio is just for you.
My name is Shanna Gilkison, and ETV has been a very important part of my life, especially for the last 4 years.
I got my start at ETV in my third semester at Eastern from fellow students, and it's been a great experience.
Working with all these new people that I didn't know before, it's very awesome just seeing how willing people are to get together and create something from scratch.
I'm Shanna Gilkison for Eastern Weekly, and this is E-Walking.
I will also be hosting and producing a sort of like a late night style talk show.
Everyone that's here wants to be here. They care to be here. They want to work. They want to learn. And with that kind of environment, everybody benefits.
I tell you, I've been doing really well, very successful here at Eastern, but it wasn't until I really became part of the ETV club that I really felt like I was getting more of what I needed as a student.
We decided that we wanted to do things above and beyond our coursework. So I was part of founding the ETV Student Org.
It just so happened that Shanna was in one of my classes, and she told me to come, and I showed up, and it was very warm welcome. Like, everybody was very nice to me right away. And they actually had an idea to make a sitcom, or actually they called it a soap opera at that time. And they said they had, they weren't sure exactly what they wanted, but they wanted one thing. They knew that they wanted this guy, his name is Ramon, to be their main character. I mean, that was kind of how the show Week at a Glance kind of took off.
Beyond Eastern's walls, when I'm done here, I'll probably be working with some people from ETV, again, professionally. And I think a lot of students don't take advantage of what they should with organizations on campus, and ETV is one of the best.
Time for Eagle Encounters. We get to fill you in on what you can do in and around campus. This week, that begins on Friday with the campus-renowned Outtober flag display out on the Prairie Herald lawn. The LGBTQ community will gather from 3 to 5 p.m. to stake thousands of flags on the lawn to create a giant rainbow. It's an important message of inclusion. And, weather permitting, they will have cider and donuts on location too. But now let's state the obvious. It's homecoming. Time to drape yourself in green and head over to the Student Center patio from 6 to 8 p.m. on Friday for True EMU's homecoming block party. It's a huge pep rally that will offer giveaways, a celebrity guest, and, as Shannon mentioned earlier, free food. And how about Saturday, Shannon?
The big game is on Saturday, David. Things will be hopping at Ryan Nearson Stadium this week with lots of alumni coming back for EMU's 96th homecoming game. Your EMU Eagles take on the University of Toledo. Gates will open at 1:30 and kickoff is at 3 p.m. Admission for students is absolutely free. After the game, our historic Pease Auditorium presents an incredible show. King Michael, a glorious tribute to the King of Pop. It's going to be a multimedia spectacular display featuring tribute artists performing Michael Jackson's greatest hits as they recreate an authentic King of Pop concert experience. Tickets are $10 and students are only limited to 2. You must present your student ID and purchase your tickets beforehand at the ticket office. This incredible show begins at 8 p.m. While we usually just cover Friday and Saturday, I wanted to quickly mention again that women's soccer team will be playing at Scaluna Field at 1 p.m. So keep on your green and cheer on the ladies, Eagles.
There you have it, a weekend full of school spirit in many forms, as well as some Michael Jackson. For no mere mortal can resist the evil of the Thriller. Can you dig it, Shannon?
Absolutely. Some off the wall, PYT, maybe just a little Billie Jean, that's my favorite. Put the EMU fight song to some lyrics of Michael Jackson's beat, and I think we could have something there. But seriously, Eagles, support your school teams. Get out there, cheer them on, and thank you for joining us on another edition of E-Weekly.
And of course, if you want to see this show on demand, head over to YouTube and search ETV at EMU. Happy homecoming, everyone. I'm David Pierce Anderson.
And I'm Shannon Smith. Have a great week.